Is it time now? Because I'm fucking ready. Is anybody else fucking ready? Because I am. Charlie Kirk, are you fucking kidding me? Oh, I'm shaking. I'm so mad. A liberal leftist shot Charlie Kirk in the neck at his event today in Utah. His status is unknown. Nobody knows if he's okay. Is it time? Because let's go. Let's fucking go. I am so done with the deranged people on the left trying their hardest to get rid of the people who are speaking the truth. That man has a family. He has young children. He has a wife who loves him. I don't give a fuck what you disagree with him on. Violence is not the answer. He has dedicated his life to educating college students, and this is how he's repaid. I am saying a prayer right now for him and for his family. Please, please, let him be.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Hope you're doing well. So that video that I came across today, I wanted to discuss it because I think it shows how clueless so many women are. And the fact that she has her hair straightened, makeup on, fake eyelashes, she lives in a relatively calm area, judging by the background, rural looks like, you know. She says, let's effing go. Like, meaning civil war, strife, and whatnot. And what's interesting is how many women on the MAGA side are very eager to have things pop off. And it's like that Valentina Gomez chick. A lot of them will goat men into doing actions that will land them disabled, in jail, okay? And the women themselves will not participate. And when things really hit the fan, they will hide, cower, and wish everything could go back to normal once their Wi-Fi goes out and they can't use Netflix. So I really wanted to discuss what a civil war would really look like in America, to remind these women to stop pretending you're tough and like you're really about that life, because once you would see the corpses piling up, once the gas stations are overridden and destroyed, once the stores are raided and looted, and your baby is sick and you can't get medicine, or your grandma has some type of stroke and she can't get a healthcare provider, you'll see just what can of worms you open. And when tensions are high and then you're saying, let's effing go, come on, really think about that. And I know it's really popular right now for some of these women to compete in who can seem the most ready to pop off, okay? And a lot of those women, I do wonder, have you ever even been in a street fight? Have you ever missed a meal? Because once water supplies get disrupted and food isn't on the shelves anymore, then you'll see some Mad Max situations where, or one could describe it as well as Walking Dead factions, right? So, do you recall the series The Walking Dead? You'll notice how many people, their main goal is finding food. Their main goal is finding food. Now, in America, so many people are obese, out of shape. They have a chronic illness. They have medication that they need. And so people think they're about that life, that they're ready. But once something hits, that's totally different. And in other countries, people have learned natural medicine. They have a tight community. They have space to grow vegetables and food and whatnot. And they're able to endure suffering. If you look at the people of Afghanistan, Iran, Iraq, Egypt, Palestine, you'll notice a theme of how they keep going on, how they keep surviving with such minimalistic means in a hot climate. In America, if the electricity goes out, water goes down, food becomes scarce, you have so many people who have been living in the luxurious first world comforts that they wouldn't know what to do. And some people, they're going to turn really rogue. And so, Civil War, I know Tim Pool is always saying it like a mantra, like he wants to manifest it, but it wouldn't be pretty. The first Civil War America had, so many people died of diarrhea. Look it up. The first Civil War, just look at the statistics on how many people died from diarrhea. I don't think a lot of moms realize how you won't have wipes, like Pampers, you're not going to have baby Tylenol, you are going to run out of clothes for your kid. Things can get so ugly. And once you go past a certain point, things will definitely look really ugly. And if the military splits, there's factions, and then robots are introduced, you know, they have robo-dogs and other things, suddenly the people who are fighting each other realize that the government will also have their own plans as well. And so people have to realize once everything becomes destabilized, the basic amenities that you're used to will be gone. So shampoo, hair conditioner, deodorant, pads for your period. A lot of women without looking pretty would go insane. They'd be stinky, dirty. Imagine you get lice. You can't get access to the medication for it. I mean, countless things can go wrong. Even just having Tums for stomach aches, Tylenol for your backache, for your period cramps, Motrin, all that. That's all gone. People are going to raid the supply sources, and then you'll see a bunch of groups and militias pop up. And then, once those militias feel that their supplies need to increase, they're going to try to take someone else's resources. Okay? And so, how many people, like, you're just a regular lady, you're making tough videos, and then someone rolls up in their pickup truck and just is armed to the gill, and they take your resources, and they R-word you, and then they murk your husband, and you know, take your livestock or whatever, and you're just sitting there in your house like, now what? You know, we've seen Hollywood depict some interesting examples of apocalyptic situations. And yeah, I'm sure there'll be some people who unite, and they do just fine, and stuff like that for a while. But the rawness of a civil war in America is not pretty. And so I do find it quite hilarious that this woman, who's probably never been in a real fist fight, is living a comfy life in a quiet neighborhood, is encouraging a civil war to pop off because one of her favorite provocateur political analysts and commentators was assassinated. I really do feel that if Obama had been struck down, if Gavin Newsom was struck down, or someone like Vosh or Destiny, they would definitely be telling people, don't have a civil war for this. And so I do find it strange that the Maga'tardians, are trying to really stir the pot. And I've shared a couple of these screenshots in some of the videos I've posted, but also on the community tab of the rhetoric that MAGA is using. And man, it's intense how this lady is already blaming the leftists and liberals for the assassination, even though there's been no official case brought out. At that time, they didn't have the real suspect. They had that old man, but then they figured out, no, this is not it. Some have theories he was a decoy. You name it. But as of now, they're looking for this skinny white guy who had an American shirt on and whatnot. And so, what's going on here? You don't have any evidence of the motives. Steven Crowder claims that on the bullets there was stuff about trans this and fascism that. The ATF is going to raid his studio, they said. Now they're going to investigate and take his devices because someone in the ATF leaked some info supposedly to Crowder ahead of time, and now they're like, hey, what's going on? We'll see what happens, but there's a lot of chaos. And Laura Loomer is blaming Muslims. How long before she says Iran did it? I mean, it's a lot's up in the air, but it's not stopping the MAGA cult members from instigating a very, very deadly civil war that would not be pretty. I mean, Americans don't really like each other, and we already have lots of gun violence and drug addicts and injured people, people with mental illness, and then these MAGA people don't think that they could be instigating a mentally ill MAGA Republican to harm some innocent people. You know, it's really strange. I think people forget just how many people want to be the hero, and they just want to have some type of love in their life, and they want to do something, and they won't think. And remember, these influencers who are pushing you to do something, they're not going to visit you in prison. They're not probably, I mean, they're probably not even going to put money on your books. Are they going to take care of your family while you're gone? You have to control yourself. You have to be wise. Don't have a weird parasitic, parasocial relationship with an influencer. You have to step back a bit and calm yourself and say, am I being irrational? Am I being illogical? Am I being emotional? Do I need to go and have a breather? What is it that's going on here? Because I notice when the Black Lives Matter riots happened, when January 6th happened, when we always have these huge movements, people get swept up in the emotions, and then they regret it once, you know, they're behind bars. Once they lose their literal freedom because they were not able to maintain composure, and someone else used them as a literal missile to disturb the environment and ran away once those people got locked up. Think about the people who instigated January 6th and then left the scene, and how many people went to jail, right? Really, there's so many examples through the American history timeline where the Rodney King riots, I mean, countless stuff, where you have to be like, whoa, whoa, but at the same time, there are moments where you gotta let the mob not trample and stampede upon you. Just get out of the way. All right, you guys are gonna be at each other's throats. We're gonna try to survive. And I think that's really important for us Muslims to do. Is, all right, you two want to go at it? All right, let's just keep making money. Let's keep doing our prayers. Let's keep trying to have some sense of normalcy as these two political factions try to destroy one another. You know, so it's odd, but don't fall for it. I'd be really surprised, like, she showed her face. I wonder if her husband if she has a husband, if he knows that she's literally calling for civil war online. Imagine, like, they're eating their chicken dinner, and then someone says, I know that chick, and then they roll up on her home. I mean, and Charlie Kirk's family is not going to be bailing her out of prison. Charlie Kirk's family is probably not going to pay her coffin fees and the mortician process and all that. You got to really be careful. I think some people forget who matters in their actual real lives. You know, it's strange. I have people who I admire who I would be greatly saddened if anything happened to them. But I will only ever risk my life for my children, or let's say innocent child who's about to be hurt, right? I mean, you have to think what your life is worth. And with these people trying to instigate a civil war, you can see they don't really value their life a whole lot. And if they don't value their life a whole lot, why are you trying to follow them to prison or to the grave? Be careful out there. Be very careful.